What's going on, guys? Got another knife review here for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Boker Plus Lucas Burnley collaboration, the Kwaiken Flipper. As you guys know, Boker Plus came out with the original Kwaiken. It featured a thumb disc opening deployment, and it was the model that I had the custom Lightning Strike carbon fiber from Lucas Burnley a while back. I've since traded it, and I miss it a lot actually, but it was just a knife that I didn't carry very much. I think one due to its collectability, and then it was just a really attractive knife, and so I regret getting rid of it in my collection, but at the same time, having this production, it's nice to just to be able to fondle this knife and whatnot. And I think that in short, I think Boker Plus actually did a really good job modeling after his knife. So I'll have a little bit of comparison between this one and the custom. Obviously, the customs. I mean, I wouldn't even say fit and finish. The fit and finish on here is actually pretty spectacular. But maybe some of the materials and I don't know. To be honest, it's the fact that it was a custom, um, and the steel was better, but not by much. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling here, but let's get into the review here. You're featuring a 3.5-inch blade, which is going to be like the custom. This one, so for the original Kwaiken, the original Kwaiken featured a kind of a cheap-looking micarta scale, and then stainless steel liners, and then a G10 or micarta backspacer. I can't remember what it was, and then a stainless steel pocket clip. And these were made infamous by Bauer Blade Works, and especially Alex Deese. I think Alex was the first one to come up with the flipper mod, where they shaved off part of the frame, and then you had the tang of the blade exposed here, and then essentially made it into a flipper. So Lucas definitely had his own flipper model as well. So finally, Boker Plus was able to do or model a new collaboration, for the flipper mod, which is awesome. So this is definitely, I think part of the other reason why I got rid of that custom was because it wasn't a flipper, and I wasn't about to do a flipper mod on the custom. So that thumb disc kind of made it somewhat difficult to open up and to snap open. You really had to dig your thumb in there to get to it. But this flipper mod, or not sorry, the flipper model of the Kwaiken, I think is just perfect. So it's rounded here, and you kind of would think that you don't get too much purchase, but you just push down and button flick it, and it comes out just perfectly, and it flies out. So this one, I kind of digressed a little bit. So instead of micarta, this one is featuring titanium scales, and originally it comes gray. I've since anodized it green just to give it a little bit more flair, and then obviously these are stainless steel liners, so I couldn't anodize those, and then the backspacer is titanium as well. So I believe it's 6AL4V, and it, after putting in multi-etch and all that, it anodized preted well, to be honest, just as well as any of my other blades. Here's just another example of a knife that I anodized, the ZT-0801. So I anodized this bronze. This is a custom pocket clip from Yester 5, Bill Yester, from USN. So I did my own acid stonewash. So this one, I mean, it looks a little bit smoother, and ZT does advertise it as 6AL4V titanium, on their knife handles. So versus Boker Plus, I think they just say titanium, so they don't advertise it as 6AL4V. Inside, you're featuring IKBS bearings for the pivot, which is great, and then inside you do have a internal track on the blade, and then a stop pin that feeds through the steel steel handles, and then sorry, steel liners, and I believe it kind of goes into the titanium as well. I'm not positive, but when I took it apart, I think it did. But again, don't quote me on that. Stainless steel pocket clip that has this cutout now, which I really don't like. I really dislike the look of it on the Kwaikens. I like, if you're gonna do a spring clip, I kind of like the full thing rather than this little cutout. So that's just me, my opinion. I think, like I said on the original Burnley review that I did, the custom one, I just love the feel of this knife. Just the straight edges, that coffin, you know, it's all straight. You know, perfectly sits on the table like this. Can't see it right there, but it's just completely flat against the surface, and I think it's just genius. The Kwaiken model, whether it's the Kwaiken or God, Todd Begg's Kwaiken, that's just insane. The one that I think Jerry got it, either Jerry or BK Dunn, or both of them got it. That's just an amazing looking knife. So the Kwaiken is such a cool design from Japan, and yeah, but I think Lucas is the one that really popularized it outside of the fixed blades. So, but anyway, you know, in terms of construction, it just falls completely flush inside the knife. It is really close to the edge, so well, I'm dragging my finger here. You really can't, unless you deliberately catch your finger or something. It's not catching my finger whatsoever here, so that's not a problem. The one problem with this knife that I had was when I was just playing around with it, and I was kind of just holding it like this, I think like this, and the fat of my fingers, you know, went in here, and that blade edge that goes all the way to, you know, the tang of the blade, if you will, is right at the edge of that liner, if you can see that. And I sliced my finger open. It was actually a pretty bad cut, and I was just surprised. I mean, I was just holding it, you know, kind of just bearing down on it, and it just opened up my skin, drew blood right away. So this is my knife, as they say. But you know, overall, I really think that this is a great blade for what you get. Blade steel is AUS 8, so you know, comparable to what you get with, I don't know, CRKTs and cold steel and whatnot. So I'm not a huge fan of AUS 8. I actually used this blade and cut some steak with it, and just slicing through the meat, you know, maybe like no more than 20 cuts, and kind of it would hit the plate as I'm cutting and whatnot. This belly got completely dull, and I could barely like slice through the meat, which is pretty disappointing in terms of AUS 8. I've used some other blades in the past, and it's actually held up pretty well. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. This swindle here features the Sandvik steel. So this one worked pretty well. I used this to cut noodles before, and so this one actually worked pretty well. This one from Boker as well. Boker Plus is the GTC Federal collaboration. This one features 440C. I stripped down a bunch of boxes with this one. Edge was decent. I just stropped it up and then was able to slice again. But this one's not too bad, but it's just not comfortable. The edges are extremely hard. So, but anyway, I'm just doing some size comparisons here. Obviously, you got your Sebenza, large Sebenza here for size comparison. Pretty much the exact same length as the Sebenza, just not as wide of a blade. A little bit thinner stock, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then weight is actually a little bit heavier due to the stainless steel handles. So, but overall, I mean, if you're looking to get a custom Kwaiken, most likely you're not gonna be able to get on Lucas's books for a while. If you're just wanting to get a feel of the Kwaiken, this is a good option. I really enjoy this one. Extremely comfortable in the hand. I'll say you can just sharpen it up really easy or strap it up really easy. And if you just want a fun flipper to play around with, you know, at one, I don't know, it's right now it's 125 or so if you can find them in stock. It's a fun knife to play with for sure. So yeah, anyway, so that's a quick breakdown of my Boker Plus Burnley collaboration Kwaiken flipper. I really enjoy it. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's my review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Take care. Bye.